plushy wolf, or what was that?
Long about, I don't know. I want to say 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe older. You remember gargoyle sunglasses made famous by Arnold?
Yeah.
They released a mascot plushie. And
Really?
I forget how I got a hold of it, but yeah.
I was not aware that they did such a thing.
So I've got a gargoyle. It's my own little personal gargoyle.
All right, then. Well, anyways, welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show that celebrates being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And Michael, aside from going to your son's wedding now, this past weekend, what else have you been up to?
Drugs.
Drugs for the bubonic plague?
Like I said earlier, I mean, if you hear me cough a lot during the show, I apologize. One of the trogs at my son's wedding last Sunday decided to share their contagion with me. So I came down with a severe sinus infection, which they put me on something called Levaquin, which, as I said in the pre-show, is what they use to treat the bubonic plague, and they also use it to treat anthrax. So I've been inadvertently a victim of bioterrorism. So
you gotta wonder then at that point, what kind of friends is your son hanging out with?
Well, it's the friend's kid. I mean, it had to have come from one of the kids. But no, it was good. Other than that, I've literally been knocked out most of the week. I started feeling a little better the other night, and I made the mistake that a lot of people do. How when you start to feel a little better, I can take on anything. I'm feeling better. I can do something normal. What do? Radically alter my desk. And it's still not done. But it was just, I was just feeling a little bit better, and I'm like, you know what, damn it, I'm going to do this. So I literally, the hutch on my desk is gone. Doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. Bye-bye. Now, I've even rearranged my work monitors. I mean,
see, that's the problem, is especially with when girls, they want to reorganize their closet, especially all their shoes and clothes and whatnot. That could take a week. It's the same thing for guys when we rearrange our desk and all of our tech.
Yeah.
Like for me to rewire this entire PC setup so only 2 wires touch the ground takes me a day. Full day.
Among the things I came across while cleaning, okay?
Nice. I remember that. I gave that to you. I brought that back from Japan. Video Games Live, yes. Don't see that one. Oh, very nice. See what happens when you clean your room?
And this I got recently at the C4 Expo up here in Ventura.
Tesla Industries. Nice. Very, very nice.
So yeah, I've been stumbling across that. I came across AX pins going back to '98.
Nice.
I mean, it's nuts. It's amazing the crap you find. And I've taken 3 trash bags worth of crap out of here. Fully loaded, like...
I totally believe it. We've all gone through that. Every time I come across the time frame of, it's about time to either reorganize...
Time to do a shake-up in the life.
Yeah, or clean up a little bit. I always end up throwing away, like, at least a trash bag and a half full of cables. Like, I used to have...
Beautiful. And that's... If anybody's going to call me a hoarder about anything...
Let's look at your storage closet, yes.
Well, let me put it to you this way. That's all RCA connectors.
See, I only keep like a few because I don't need that. I can't say anything bad because the fact I was the exact same way for the longest time. So
well, and then there's like component cables, standard RCA cables and shit in here. I've got some S video cables in here. I mean,
I have a 50.
I even found this may actually be long enough for the living room project.
Ooh, nice.
I need to actually stretch it out and see if it'll reach.
Very cool.
We may finally be able to get internet in the living room.
That's always quite interesting to see what you can find when you clean up and whatnot. Like I've basically condensed most of my excess cables and tech and whatnot into one 30-gallon plastic container.
I honestly think that if I were to clear out all the cables and crap I've got, if I were to do some serious condensing of cables, I'd probably have enough copper to get about $50.
There you go.
if I were to recycle the copper.
Hey, that's $50 right there.
Yeah, but I don't want to take the time to
All
strip
right.
ever.
Good point. Good point. But enough about us talking about how we clean everything because we all do it. So why we could listen to someone else talk about it? Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about
Nice segue, by the way.
a new movie. Let's talk about a new movie, which is a remake of the old movie that I wish they didn't do. But we're gonna go watch it anyways. This is the latest trailer for RoboCop. So I ask, why?
I wouldn't buy that for $1.
I look at this and I go, okay, you have new CGI effects and whatnot since late 80s, early 90s. Okay, that looks nice. It looks all nice and pretty. But you've kind of destroyed what made RoboCop.
Well, yeah, no. I think the problem is they're radically altering the storyline. And that's fine. I mean, it's a remake. They can do whatever the they want with it. But
True.
I don't know. The jury's out. I mean, will I spend the money to go see it in the theater? Doubtful.
Yeah.
I kind of want to though, because I like the look of the new Ed 209. Though I loved the old Ed 209. I mean, the Ed 209 was my favorite part of that show. But the new one looks pretty. I'm assuming that's the Ed 209 that the one they showed walking down the street.
Yes, that is the N209. N209, yeah.
So, it's a popcorn flick. Although Samuel L. Jackson as the conservative talk show host is kind of amusing.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I said a phrase last week saying you can throw Morgan Freeman in almost any movie and it'll make the movie almost instantly better, and at least watchable. Part of me wants to say the same thing about Samuel Jackson, but then I remember Snakes on the Plane. And
yeah, I think Samuel L's trying to forget Snakes on a Plane.
I really do so. But there is one thing that Sam Jackson is definitely not going to forget, and is that his role within the new Marvel movie universe. And that seems to be taking off in so many different places. Not only in all the movies that are tied together, but you have the TV series, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There are tie-ins with the comic books in certain places, but that isn't enough for the Rat, for Disney/Marvel. No, they announced a deal with Netflix, and I'm kind of happy about this one, believe it or not. So you have Marvel here, and it was rumored that they were going to develop 4 brand new TV shows and a miniseries. Well, I'm guessing that TV show was initially going to be just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That wasn't part of this deal. This deal is with Netflix exclusive. So this partnership is not only for first run rights for all the Marvel movies beginning in 2016, but these are for 4 brand new interconnected TV series based on 4 characters. As they call it, the gritty world of heroes and villains of Hell's Kitchen, New York. It's going to feature these 4 characters. You have
Daredevil.
Yes, you first have Daredevil in the upper right-hand corner. You also have just in front of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and then on the left-hand side you have Iron Fist and Luke Cage, which occasionally teamed up in the comics as heroes for hire. So all 4 of these are getting their own TV series, or I guess you can call it a TV series.
Is Affleck returning back as Daredevil?
No. Yeah, this has nothing to do with that movie. Yes, but
I actually kind of enjoyed that movie.
So
it's non-canon as hell, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, good point. These each of these 4 series are going to be 13 episodes long. Because it's on Netflix, no commercials whatsoever. That's kind of nice. What's the best part about, which makes me happy, is the fact that all of these characters, all these storylines, really interconnect with each other. For example, Jessica Jones.
Who is she? I don't recognize her.
There are times where she's actually Matt Murdock or Daredevil's bodyguard when he's not suited up. You have Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. They actually teamed up, had a child, and got married in some of the comic books. Like I said, Cage and Iron Fist actually team up to form the Heroes for Hire group.
I know who Cage and Iron Fist are. I know who Daredevil is. It's just her I've never heard of.
Yeah, she has actually had.
What's her power?
I'm not quite sure. All I know is that she's essentially
purple hair and golden skin.
The standard run. She's she flies and whatnot. I don't know her complete lineup of powers, but she does end up as the bodyguard for Daredevil when he's not as Daredevil. So
when he's not daredeviling,
there you go.
When he's not daring devils.
So I'm actually looking forward to this because Marvel's already come out and basically stated that these are characters that quote unquote would not be profitable if made into an actual TV series or a movie by themselves. But if you throw them into this you can watch all 13 episodes at one time on Netflix kind of deal, it kind of expands the universe a little more. That's kind of my thought on it.
I like Cage and Iron Fist. I've always liked them. What little I've seen of them. Daredevil, I was always kind of iffy on. Again, the other chick, I have no idea who she is. I mean, if her power is triple D's, then fine. But is this part of the Whedon contract, or is this separate?
I believe this is part of the Whedon contract because this is actually within Phase 2.
Okay, so if it's part of the Whedon contract, then I'm conservatively optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the way Joss Whedon does things usually. Although Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of late, topic hopping slightly.
Go for it.
Still sponsored by Disney. They skipped a week and they reran the pilot and then they went back to new episodes this last week. It's no longer the Sky. I mean, it's still, there's a lot of evidence. There's Sky's there, but she's not as much in the forefront.
No, and I was really happy for that.
They're actually pushing it more on what the hell's going on with Coulson.
Mm-hmm. Well, Disney's already made the announcement. We talked about it on last week's episode that
I missed.
On November 19th, the episode, so not this week, but next week's episode, is going to directly deal with the aftermath of Thor 2. So there's
Which I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. So
I heard it was good.
I keep on hearing that as well, but it's a matter of getting out there and actually going to see it. So we'll find some time to go watch it.
I've had friends who are going, "Oh my God, Hemsworth!" I want to break him off a piece of that.
See, what I'm hoping though, going back real quick to the Defenders, as they're calling it, this quad group of heroes, is I can easily see Joss Whedon trying to use this as a springboard to introduce to fans that are not necessarily fans of the comics new upcoming characters that will have their own Marvel movies like Ant-Man and Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange would be a trip.
Doctor Strange is getting a movie in Phase 3.
Have they cast him yet?
Not yet.
Ooh. That makes for some fun nerd thought. Who do you think would be a good Doc Strange?
Yeah.
Although I can't think Doctor Strange and not think of Professor Orpheus from Venture Brothers. It's
I
Your
don't.
spirits are calling to me. I mean,
I don't blame you in the least on that. That's it's crazy. But yeah, when they finally start making announcements regarding Phase 3, then we'll get into that a little more. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to see anything regarding this set of miniseries, probably not until at least 2015. So they just inked the deal. They haven't they really just
anything yet.
It's not even the ink's not even dry yet. So, but in the meantime, we have Thor, we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and but aside from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's only one other TV show that I've really been watching as of late, in preparation for the upcoming special, which is Doctor Who. Cannot wait.
I still have not seen all the Clara season.
You need to. I've
only seen like one episode of it.
She has a pretty significant role if you actually watch the last bits. So, but we're talking about the 50th anniversary special, Day of the Doctor, where a few of the Doctors team up to
fight the baddie.
Yeah, let's call it that, which could be part of himself. We've showcased the teaser trailer, and I'm really happy that BBC released not one, but two brand new trailers to help increase the hype. One is about 40 seconds long, a lot of action, but the one we're going to watch is a little longer, and it delves a little deeper into how the Doctor's going to interact with each other.
They actually showed a scene of an enemy that the Whisper people pizza guys actually I can't believe they're bringing them back.
Well, it's Stephen Moffat. I mean, he's one of the biggest Doctor Who fans. It would not be surprised in the least of him grabbing from older generations that maybe the current generation hasn't been really knowledgeable about.
I also want to know who they're sneaking in that's not on. And yes, Rose is back.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually happy to see Rose. But who's gonna?
I'm waiting to see how.
I want to see who else they snuck in there because they've hinted at other Doctors, and is it just going to be those three, or?
What I'm
I mean, I know Eggleston's not coming back. Flat out, he said not no, but fuck no.
Yeah. Given the idea behind who this new Doctor was not supposed to be the Doctor, John Hurt's character. Mm-hmm. Considering at least his clothing wise, has hints of Eccleston's style, early style. What I'm hoping, this is a fanboy hope, that at the end of this special, there's going to be a moment watch him transform to the next version, and at least for like a minute or two, you'll see Eccleston on screen to tie everything together. That's my hope as a fanboy.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's just me. But I'm still really excited to see how John Hurt's so-called Forbidden Doctor will play into all this. We saw glimpses of what I thought was actually more of the Time War.
I was going to say, I'm wondering, because they hinted at it, you never actually saw the Time War. You never actually saw him damn near exterminate everybody. Mm-hmm. It was just referred to.
Exactly. It's one of those that it was mentioned in passing, and damn you if you ever try to mention it again.
Yeah. So, and what he said, lesser men were called upon to light the flame. Mm-hmm. He may be the one that did it.
Could be good. And of course, having David Tennant back is just a pleasure. So I'm going to enjoy that. We know that this special that's going to happen on November 23rd is not the last time you're going to see Matt Smith as the Doctor. He still has the Christmas special in which he will probably transform at that point to the new Doctor.
And when will we start seeing new episodes of the new Doctor?
Probably not until late 2014. So you're talking about at least a 6 to 8 month wait.
Bastards.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying how they're going to do that. But there has to be like the Easter or the spring special. So here's hoping for something. I don't know. But all this talk about TV and specials and Doctor Who can be kind of considered as a sci-fi fantasy thing.
Oh, it's definitely sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah.
There's no could be. It is.
Yes, okay, good point. There is talk, and this is just talk right now. This was actually on a website called TV Equals. They were doing a article about a certain game that they wish could be turned into a TV series, basically a space opera, because we don't really have space operas on TV anymore. The game... Go ahead.
No, we don't.
Yeah, the game in question that they're talking about is they want to see the Mass Effect trilogy, the entire series, be modified, or at least use the universe that the Mass Effect games have created to create a new TV drama.
Well, they did the anime. How did that go over?
It was all right.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's okay.
Doesn't it focus on Cortez? I think his name is.
There's one episode of that. Yes, one part of it, I should say, for that.
Okay.
It was okay, but I would love to see. Me personally, I would be floored to see a Mass Effect TV series. Doesn't even have to deal with the characters at all. Just be in the universe itself would be great. In the article, it basically states that it can do for spaceships and aliens what Game of Thrones did for sword and sorcery.
Translation, sell it to a movie channel.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You had to throw it to Showtime, HBO.
The only problem I see is where are you going to put, what timeline are you going to put it in?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you're not telling Shepard's story.
No. To try to do that would just be...
Well, especially because if you go Fem Shep or Male Shep, everybody's going to be... You're going to piss off somebody. Mm-hmm. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't there. But the races.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you've got the Asari. Okay, they're kind of humanish, but then you've got the other races. It's I don't know. I want to know more.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is just basically someone throwing up the idea. Would you like this idea? I personally would absolutely love to see something like this if it was done
If they get
properly.
the right writers.
Yeah, good point. Get Michael Arndt. He's not doing anything nowadays.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, he aren't working on that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure he made quite a decent paycheck for what he worked on already for
I'm sure he did,
for this
but-
upcoming Star Wars movie. And JJ's already confirmed that he's not throwing out the he's not going to rule out the possibility of Arndt coming back to write on future movies. So there's always that, I guess.
Well, at least there's that.
True. But with all that money he's made for that, he could at least buy some cool tech, don't you think?
Nice segue.
Thank you very much.
You're just singing them out today, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. You see, I've been thinking about getting a new tablet myself, but all the resolutions are just too damn small.
Well, I have just the tablet for you, good sir.
Do you? Please
Yes.
tell me more.
This is the Panasonic UTMB5.
Holy
It has
shit,
a-
how big is that thing?
20 inches.
Good God.
It's a 20-inch screen, Intel Core 5 processor, GeForce 745 GPU, SSD, 8 gigs of RAM.
It's a Surface 2.
Essentially, yes. The camera, the front-facing camera, is 720p, so you can do Skype calls and conferences no problem. But the main reason why people want to pick this one up, if they can possibly afford it, is that screen. Aside from the size of it, 20 inches, it's an IPS screen. But the resolution, 3840 by 2560. This is, I believe, the first 4K tablet that's actually available for sale, especially here in the US. It is a 230 pixels per inch, so it's pretty.
Very pretty. How much?
Oh, let's see. A total of $5,999.
Only.
Yeah, $6,000.
Yeah.
Weighs about 5.5 pounds, about a half an inch thick. The little adapter on the back to rest it actually has USB ports as well to add on to it. But yeah, this is not what you call really portable, even though they claim it has a 2-hour battery life.
So does my Toshiba, but that's beside the point.
Come on, I'm sure you can throw a Bluetooth chip in this thing, and this will be your next phone, Michael.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're just picking up the monitor. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Well, you actually missed out on what I was talking about last week. I came across a new flip phone. It has a Snapdragon quad core, runs Android, has dual displays, but it's actually a flip phone design, all for the low price of $1,600.
No, you're right. I missed it. I'd love to know more about it.
So yeah, I had to throw that out there. Panasonic 4K tablet. Everything's going 4K, but there's not really any 4K content out there.
Not yet. Well, how long did it take for HD to show up?
Okay, good point.
I mean, HD phased in over a few years. Although what's funny is you had the long rebellion or the long reign of 640. Then HD came in at 720 and 1080 around the same time, actually. And then that's only had a few years, and now it's snowballing up to 4K already.
And companies like the NHK in Japan, they're already experimenting with not only 8K but also 16K. So there's technically only one 16K monitor and one 16K camera in the world at this point. Why? Just because.
Because they can.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, I know
Think about your anime at that scale.
Ooh. The only problem with that is at that resolution, I mean, hell, at 1080p, if you watch some of your old school anime on it,
You see every glitch.
I mean, now if you,
Upres only works so much.
this is true, but when you throw like say, Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle, say on Blu-ray, that actually looks quite nice because the
Because
background
they can scan the film.
exactly, and the gorgeous backgrounds are just paintings by themselves. That's quite nice. But when you get to like 8K and 16K, you're gonna see like little hidden scribbles saying, Sadamoto was here or something like that.
Funny you should mention that.
Eh?
Went to Kamikaze. I'm veering off schedule here for a bit. Went to Kamikaze last weekend.
How was that?
And picked up a couple of DVDs from a guy by the name of Fawn Davis,
Okay.
who does miniatures and stuff. Used to work for ILM, worked on all sorts of movies. There's a movie out there called Sense of Scale. That's a documentary where they took a whole bunch of miniature creators for movies and interviewed them. And it's all these war stories from various movies these guys worked on. For example, the New York City skyline from, I want to say, Independence Day was used in Independence Day, Batman Returns, Hudsucker Proxy. Oh, it was the Hudsucker Proxy New York skyline. The same miniature was used for like 5 different movies. But they just lit it and set it up differently. And when it came back to Warner Brothers, they stuck over 15 little teeny Warner Brothers cartoon characters throughout the model and blended them in so that it was just like an in-joke. You could only see them if you knew they were there. There's one guy who, one of his things is he likes to sneak a Coke can somewhere in the set. Somewhere in the miniature, you'll see a Coke can. You just have to catch it at just the right angle because he's the only one who really knows it's there. Did you know that the Close Encounters of the Third Kind Starship had over 5 R2-D2s on it?
I have to go back and watch that scene.
They actually showed pictures of some of them where it's the ships that got blown up in Starship Troopers have R2-D2s on them.
R2-D2 is everywhere. I mean, he even had a couple scenes, albeit in CG format, but in the first Star Trek
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all these little things that these artists do. They're little in-jokes. They're really the only ones who know about it until they tell somebody. But
that's freaking awesome. That's easy for them to say, I was here.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is really cool, actually. Need to check that out.
When you come up, I'll show you.
Well, you were at Kamikaze. I was at home. I was hoping that, hopefully one of these days, both of us will eventually be able to make it to Blizzcon together.
Oh, yeah.
But I was able to watch the free streams, at least. Thankfully, this year, they were streaming for free, not only the esports tournaments, which were mind frag in terms of StarCraft 2.
Isn't that awesome?
Although I have to say, for one moment, I decided to kick over to the WoW esports page, and I didn't expect to see this caster there. See if you can spot which one I'm talking about.
Was he really there?
Conan O'Brien was there and actually co-casted several matches with these guys.
Was he actually seriously doing it? I mean, was he doing good, or was he just goofing off?
Oh, he was goofing off. The thing is, he was playing with the energy level of the 2 other casters is very quiet. Yeah, this is very great. He blinked right there, and that's exactly what he did. And he would keep that same level and just monotone, repeat back what they would say, throw some other stuff in there. It was definitely a surprise, to say the least. But yes, BlizzCon was this weekend, I should say, on Friday and Saturday. Tons of information came out of there, especially for the fact that they did not have a BlizzCon last year, so they had to push 2 years of content into one.
And did they reveal what Project Titan was yet?
No. They keep on stating that they're working on it. We had to change our ideas earlier this year and go to a new direction, but we're still working on it.
They did a full scrap earlier in the year.
And kicked 100 people to the curb for it, too. That was kind of sad. Of course, they had new information for Hearthstone, their WoW card game, which they actually had a tournament there, and that was actually very popular, apparently. The open beta for it is actually starting in a couple weeks. You can go to your Battle.net account and actually sign up for it if you like. They announced that it's working on variations of it for not only for iOS and iPad and iPhone, but also on Android devices as well for future. Probably for sometime next year. Although they did talk a little bit about the Warcraft movie. They didn't show anything. I was kind of sad about that. They didn't show any.
They've been talking about that Warcraft movie since BlizzCon #2 when I went, and damn it, give me my Warcraft movie.
When they had the director and producer there at the panel for it, they mentioned a couple things that.
Who's the director?
Because
I know they replaced. At one point, it was Raimi.
It's Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones. Okay.
And they wanted work this into like as a war movie. They used Gladiator as an example of it. Although at one point they did mention.
Well, it is called World of Warcraft, not World of Pillow Fight Craft.
But Duncan Jones came out and said it's kind of like Avatar meets Game of Thrones, and I went, hold on now.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Whoa!
Whoa! You can't do that because that's not how the politics of that game works.
Exactly.
Unless they're jumping the shark.
Now he claims that he's a longtime Warcraft fan. The head of effects for this movie, he was actually. If I read this correctly, was playing WoW at the time he got the call to be the art director for it.
Nice.
So, they are initially thinking, we can do this as a trilogy. They shot that down. We're going to focus just on the first movie, and that's it for right now.
They'll leave hooks for future.
Of course they will. It's so easy to do so, given the amount of lore that they have to work with. And they're gonna.
Which I'm wondering if they kind of jumped the shark on that, but we'll get there.
Yeah, true. But then they go, it's only going to be PG-13. And I went, oh, well, there goes the heavy, bloody war that I was looking for between orcs and humans. So,
yeah, you lose some of the violence. You also, well, no, everybody's still going to be scantily clad.
Yeah, true. But just that phrase, Avatar meets Game of Thrones, just kind of worries me for a moment there.
Yes and no. I mean, if they get for the character, if that means that the level of CG that they're going to be using is going to be the level of Avatar.
Well, the art director is the same person who worked on like Life of Pi, so that level of CG.
Okay.
So
you've got people who know what the hell they're doing.
Yes, and also working aside him on all the artwork and whatnot is Nick Carpenter, who is the VP of Cinematics at Blizzard. So there is that tie. So there's that.
Okay.
But that wasn't the big thing. There were two big things that they made an announcement there, and why talk about when I can show it? So
sure, you do that.
Here, enjoy. I know what you're thinking, Michael. You're probably thinking they're going back in time. Yes, it's basically they're taking the story from the.
They're going to Outland before it became Outland.
Exactly, back when Warcraft was just the RTS.
Right.
Although I think I found the official poster for it, and I think you'll probably agree with me on this one. I think this works just perfect for it.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, so we're time traveling in this new upgrade. Well,
it's not on. I mean, that also means that the Bronze Dragonflight's going to be involved because they're the ones who handle all the timey-wimey, spacey-wacy, timey-wimey stuff. So
yeah,
I'm wondering. I want to keep the faith and say. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be good. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I'm sure there'll be some really cool things. But I think lore-wise, they're jumping the shark.
You think so?
They're getting really close.
Well, when they decided, I mean, to be honest, I only played Warcraft 2. I never played Warcraft 1, so I don't have the full lore behind what they're going forward on this. But when they're going to take, Garrosh, who's been locked up for a while and somehow got out of his prison and found a way to time travel, it reeks of, okay, yes, they're trying to say people from the current generation probably never played the original RTS games. But on the other hand, this is a retread, which is not really Blizzard-like.
Well, especially since I also don't remember, and maybe somebody can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I don't remember orcs and humans getting anywhere near Draenor because it was orcs and humans. The Draenei were like introduced in Burning Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Chris basically did make a mention during the panel that focused on the storyline for this upcoming expansion, that the battle will technically spill over into the next expansion. So take that as you will.
I mean, unless you're using it as one giant retcon, I mean...
Then at that point you're going in
circles.
circles.
I like Metzen. I trust Metzen. I love Metzen. I think he does fantastic work.
He should be in head of a heavy rock band, but you know.
No, he's not part of the band.
He should be, though, with that voice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got a good voice for it. But Samwise might kick his ass vocally. But it... I'm hoping, but I'm a little nervous.
Okay, understandably so. I mean, I'm willing to give this one a shot because, like I said, I don't know the full lore between the original RTS games.
And I want to know what the requirements are going to be for the boost to 90.
Single character. Pick any character, single character. You've had it already. Doesn't matter if it's level 60 or level 4. If you have a character that you've already had within World of Warcraft, they didn't specify the length of time.
Do you have to have hit 90 on any of your others?
No.
See, that's that bugs me, because it used to be when they introduced the Death Knights, you had to have had, before you could roll a level 58 Death Knight, you had to have had a character that you had to have rolled a regular character and run them up through that point before you could do the boom, hey, congratulations, you're 58 and a Death Knight.
Good point. And not to mention, you're going to miss a lot of the lore. You're going to miss a lot of the weaponry and the armor that you can...
Right, and what's to keep all the little twinks from going, oh, I'm going to make a 90 character, I don't even know the fucking game, blah, 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 blah. You know, nobody's going to learn their class.
I wonder if that's tying into the fact why this level cap isn't just a jump of 5 like it usually has been. It's actually a bump of 10.
Actually, they're going back to jump of 10, because the jump from... Burning Crusade was 60 to 70.
Oh, okay, you're right. I was thinking from because Pandaria was
Lich
5,
King
right?
was 70 to 80.
Oh, okay.
Kata was 80 to 85. And then Pandas were 90 to 95. So they're going back to jumping 10.
But now you can have a level 100 character. Okay, that's kind of cool. But
okay,
as much as I was enjoying,
all my nice purples and oranges are going to be replaced by the greens in the first start zone.
Okay, good point. But for me, honestly, checking out the new expansion, cool. Hopefully that'll get me back into WoW because I haven't played it in a little while. But I was actually looking more forward to Heroes of the Storm, and this one just blew my mind. It's essentially what was going to be like Dota 2 turned into, let's make our own game similar to Dota, but you utilize characters from all of our games. So it's their own hero brawler.
That's Blizzard Dota, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, they've been talking about that for a while.
And now it's officially going to come out.
By the way, to clarify my thing, I got corrected in the chat room, although I didn't think I said it that way. It was 0 to 60 is vanilla, 70 to 80 is Burning Crusade, 80 to 85, no.
The cap
is 85 is Wrath, 85. No, wait a minute.
Well, while you think about that, I need to ask you a question, Michael.
70. Oh no, 160 is vanilla, 60 to 70 is burning.
This is gonna hurt his head till we figure this out.
75. No, 70 to 80 was Wrath. 80 to 85 was Kata. 85 to 90 is Pandas.
Sorry. There you go. No worries.
I blame the cough syrup.
No worries. But for Heroes of the Storm, would you want to see the cinematic trailer or do you want to see the in-game gameplay trailer?
Both.
Both? Okay. Purdy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cannot wait.
I've been reticent to get into League of Legends or Dota because I'm so late in the game, and being such a noob, I'd get pwned every chance in the world. But my God, that looks like fun.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be an absolute blast. I'll suck at it, but
you know what? We'll suck. We'll...
I was gonna say, you're gonna go with that path.
Yeah, I know. I better stop that thought.
Well, we're gonna go down that path, darling. But
we'll be together in our noobness. How's that?
Okay, that's slightly better.
Makes me want to fire up StarCraft 2 again, though.
True. Watching the championship and watching the underdogs just destroy all the favorites was so good.
I'm sorry I missed all that. I was working on other stuff, but man,
it's up for on-demand stuff now, so you can watch it over. Yeah,
cool.
But should we talk about this last thing real quick?
By the way, do you have StarCraft?
I only have the starter edition, so we should play.
Yeah,
especially because they have this thing now where if you have an actual copy and I only have the starter edition, if we team up as a party, I can use the full effects of the full version as long as I'm in your party. So
I have full version of StarCraft 2.
We should have fun with this then eventually. Then
yes, and air it as Random Acts of Gaming.
Works for me. All right. Well, this last bit, it came out of left field. I was not expecting this whatsoever.
Me either. I was shocked. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, Microsoft decided, you know what? For a couple versions so far, we've been embracing our OS Tonness. OS Ton, give you an idea of what they are, is chibi little animated mascots of software. Ton is supposed to be a childlike variation of Chan. So you have all your OS Ton. You have like Windows 98 Ton, 95 Ton there. Upper right hand corner, 3.1 Ton.
The more memory you add to where the bigger boobs get. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these are all unofficial, even though several art books were released with these. Microsoft actually did not officially support and actually create an official OS Ton until Windows 7 when they made the Nami Madobe, which I have to give them props for who they brought in as the voice actress for her. Was actually Nana Mizuki.
Nice.
So you can go online right now and find it, very easily. There was actually a theme pack where you can download for Windows 7 where you get a couple cool backgrounds with her, but then you also get a sound pack for everything you would do. She would actually say something. So
yeah, I remember Brian was ecstatic when that came out.
Oh yeah. So they kind of expanded upon it. For Windows Azure, the cloud services, they had Claudia, and she actually has a voice pack. I just found out earlier today. That was voiced by Eddie Kitamura, so I downloaded that instantly. I was sad to find out that there's not one but two OS Tons for Windows 8.
RT and normal?
So you have you Madobe and I Madobe. So you and I, they try to be very punny with these two. I don't know why they decided to go with two, but okay.
Well, because there's Windows 8 and there's Windows 8 RT.
Oh, yeah, good point, I guess. But, so they have these two. But why are we bringing this up? Well, I guess just having for their OSs wasn't enough. There was a character for Silverlight that kind of came and went very quickly. Mm-hmm. But the latest one is actually for Internet Explorer. For Internet Explorer itself, there's actually its own OS Ton. And to help coincide with the release and reveal of this character, they actually created a little anime short. I was really surprised by this.
That was actually really good.
Yeah. Shall we show it, or should we just keep on talking?
Show it. We're wrapping up anyway. Show it.
True. So that's a thing.
So let me have my delayed startup, and then I'll kick your ass. Must boot faster.
Watch that her father's a variation of Steve Ballmer. Yeah, so that's a thing now.
I think it's kind of fun. I'm glad they're actually embracing it instead of going lawyer happy.
Yeah, very true.
Did you notice the two little Windows 8 Tans in the background next to her?
Yep.
Next to her tablet?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's... It doesn't stop the fact that Internet Explorer eats glue as far as the kindergarten playground goes. Though, it's the paste eater. But
I have to put this up here. That kind of clarifies my view on this. There was a little 3-strip comic that came out of, hey, look, a guy is meeting Exploraton, basically, underneath a cherry blossom tree. Yeah, there's something I'd like to talk about you. Sure, you can ask me anything. But the thing is, we don't use her for internet. No, we use her for an invitation to Firefox. So. Yeah, I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Microsoft. I'm very thankful that you're doing this. This stuff is awesome. You're not going to get me to use Internet Explorer over
I only
Firefox
use it when
or
I
Chrome.
absolutely have to.
Yeah, not a chance in hell. All right.
But I'd like to see the other browsers do it. I'd like to see Google embrace it. I'd like to see Mozilla embrace it. I think it's cool. I mean, it's a fun thing, and but yeah, oh boy.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Tibble on the chat saying you do it for Chrome. Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. To wrap up,
X-Bone. Sorry. I mentioned the X-Bone in chat.
Oh God, the X-Bone. The amount of crap that's going on about that right now. How Target made a mistake and shipped out a few hundred before ship date. And so one person actually got it early and posted a crap load of stuff about it online about it, because that's what you would do when you first get a console.
Right.
Whatnot. And Microsoft found out, banned the guy's account, his Twitter account, his YouTube account. Apparently
Banned it or locked it?
Soft ban. Because apparently they figured out afterwards, oh, this is Target's fault, not your fault. They reached out to the guy. They're going to unban all of his accounts, including his Xbox Live account, shortly before the launch, which is in like 2 weeks. And they're actually bringing him to the launch event as well to say sorry. So it's funny. All this is happening as the PS4 is going to be launched in like what, 4 days or something like that.
5 days. It launches the 15th, doesn't it?
15th. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
The thing is, I want a PS4. I don't want an Xbox One.
I kind of want both, but it's going to be at this point well over a year before I get either. So
I'm not going to be touching any of them right out the gate.
Yeah, to get a new console right out the gate, especially with the very limited amount of launch titles, if you take out all the titles that are initially available on current gen systems, you're talking 4 games on one, 6 on another.
Yeah.
And
the Wii U doesn't impress me that much either. I mean, it's pretty. It does good stuff. It's got some neat interfaces, but I don't play the ones I got.
Yeah, I just look at him going, really? Oh, okay. That's... Oh, well, I'll get one eventually. It's going to be a matter
Eventually
of time.
I will too, but I'm not in a hurry.
First gen is always... The first generation stuff is always crap, so...
Not true, though. Excuse me. My PS3 is a first gen PS3. And it's actually better than the current gen PS3s because I can play PS2 and PS1 on it.
I was talking more along the lines of the software, the games.
Oh, yeah.
Hardware, I'm with you exactly on that because I have a first gen that can play PS2 games. So, very good. But looks like we've gone over a little late, but that's fine because we lost stuff to cover. But Michael, what have you been watching lately aside from being sick?
Mostly being sick. Like I said, that Sense of Scale movie is really cool. I mean, it's mostly a geek stuff, but just the little bits in history and these nuggets of story that they tell about, the folks who made Star Wars, who made Space 1999, who did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's amazing how much stuff that you thought was CG wasn't. I mean, like, case in point, Mars Attacks was a hybrid of CG and practical effects in areas where you wouldn't think so.
Really?
Yeah. Like, for example, Mars Attacks, the aliens in the flying saucer, where you got the giant brain that's in the saucer, that's all a practical set. Ooh. The only thing CG in there are the Martians.
Nice.
I mean, it's just impressive as hell. And it's just a really cool thing. And on a geek level, it was just, oh my God, I loved it. I
will have to check this out. This sounds actually really interesting.
It is. It's really cool. If you're into miniatures or special effects at all, you want to see this.
Okay, cool. Me, haven't really done much aside from anime here and there. I'm kind of surprised that back when I had money, I actually bought on launch day the Pacific Rim Blu-ray. I've yet to open it out of its packaging. I kind of need to fix that.
I came across, in rearranging my desk and clearing out my bookshelves, I came across an anime DVD that I bought, 5 years ago? With every intent of watching.
Never did.
It was sealed.
I've done that plenty of times. We have friends that have done that a lot. But I would watch some anime here and there. Golden Time's finally got to a good point. I was really thankful for that. Although, I have to say, as much as I'm enjoying Infinite Stratos Season 2, this latest, not this latest episode, but it'll be episode 5. Episode 5 is not the time to throw a full fan service episode in. You wait till like near the end, not...
I say the fan service episodes are usually around 10, aren't they?
Yeah, no, this was like full-on fan service episode 5. Like, main character is being drugged into a room where each of the girls can do whatever they want to him for a specific amount of time to get him to choose them.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, it was just one of those, like, really? I was hoping for more out of Infinite Stratos, but, well.
Yeah, you can only follow the tropes so far.
Exactly. So, but other than that, just anime and whatnot. So you can catch more of that on Anime Break on Wednesdays. Which on this Wednesday, I'm actually having a friend, Justin, on, who is an up-and-coming Vocaloid producer here in the States. Actually has some decent stuff. You can go check out his YouTube page, which is Vocaloid MMD34. I remember if it is correctly. He's going to be on Anime Break this Wednesday. So if you have questions about Vocaloids, MMDs, what have you, you'll be able to ask those on Wednesday's Anime Break. But I think that's it. You got anything else to add for today, Michael?
No, not really.
All
I
right.
need to finish my projects, but other than that, no, I'm good.
All right, sounds good.
I should be in a much better shape next week. I apologize for being kind of out there this
You're
week, guys.
sick. It's all good. That's why we're
Better next week.
that's why we're separate between a couple different towns, so I don't get sick as well.
a couple counties. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching From Mother's Basement. Stay tuned for post show, and yeah, for From Mother's Basement, I'm Jason,
And I am the sick Michael.
and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.